2J. Big single turbo. It's got a Garrett G35 900 on it. Hey everybody, I figured I'd introduce myself. This is going to be the start of my YouTube channel. And this is Twitch. She's our shop cat. We actually got her Christmas Day. She was trying to break into the neighbor's house because she was so cold. But yeah, I figured maybe come follow along as figure out what I'm doing. Big thing starting this channel for is just to kind of help promote myself and what I enjoy doing, which is drifting and building cars. So this here is my S14, which is funny because it's my very first drift car. We're going on to the third season of me drifting. This is my wife's 51 Packard. Be messing with this here pretty soon.
I got strawberries.
Really? She's got strawberries.
Wait.
No, now you're inside the video.
Look at them.
Are those?
They're real strawberries, my dude.
Oh.
I know. Okay, you can continue.
This is the garage life for my wife.
Sorry.
And Twitch. This is the future build. Oh my god. Okay.
No, that's good. That's good content. It's real.
Yeah, it's real.
I interrupt you all the time. Babies!
I'm gonna put that in the video if you don't quit.
Did you feed her?
It's so turns out I forgot to press record. I guess I was talking to myself, not recording anything. But this is the E46. It is currently going to just be a Texas street legal car, so I can compete in 2 comps during Lone Star events. I'm gonna build a custom cage for it. Never done one, so it's gonna be interesting but fun. Throw wise fab on it, coilovers, and seats, and a handbrake, and just have fun with it. And Kelsey will learn how to drive it and enjoy it for a year or so. Then eventually, full build, version 2.0 of what this thing is. 427 LS NA, maybe turbo, I don't know yet. Just completely from the ground up build again. By the way, this car I did build from the ground up. It was a stock S14 Zinky that we got from a kid who was in college who bought it from his teacher, I believe, and it was her husband's car. Just kind of, I don't know, just chilled out in it, blew up the stock motor, and it sat, and so we picked it up and I turned it into this thing. Basically built it off of YouTube. This is my wife's E92M3. Currently, it is just basically stock. I built an exhaust for it. She did, however, put really nice Corbeau seats in it. Pretty cool. But just her fun street car. We might end up throwing a handbrake on it with some wise fab and some coilovers just to play around with if we ever wanted to, I don't know, throw it in a street legal event. So back to this thing. This car is basically completely built from the ground up in the garage by me. We'll get to the hood in a sec. Under the hood in a second. It's got cool Sparko seats with the removable halos. It's got ECU masters, keyboard, ADU. It's got a PMU, EMU. Got a cool soundbar in the back because I used to get nervous in grid. Now it's just kind of a cool, relaxing thing. Koenig wheels all the way around. C32 calipers all the way around from Part Shop Max. Fuel cell in the back, because funny enough, when I was putting in the cage, welding it in, accidentally burnt a hole in the factory gas tank, and luckily it didn't explode. It's got Deechworks surge tank with 3 Deechworks fuel pumps. It has a rear mount radiator. Because this JZ was getting hot, with dual Spall brushless fans. You can see them there. Complete crash, rear end crash bar setup. I built it basically following what the pros do. The big tubing is the secondary crash points, so that is removable and replaceable. These are the primaries, and obviously I can replace them if I want, and I drew up everything so I can duplicate it easily. Battery, and yeah, that's pretty much it back here. Then under the hood, 2J, big single turbo. It's got a Garrett G35 900 on it, dual wastegates. I had to add the second wastegate because once I welded a cast elbow onto the turbo, apparently I no longer had boost leaks, which is funny because the silicone elbow that I had always had a leak in it, apparently. So had to add a second wastegate before drift week, just to make drift week. And then it's got 1200cc injectors, LQ9 coils. It has Brian Crower 272 cams, dual valve springs, titanium valves. And I did all the fab work, everything. Yes, these are kind of ugly, but this was back when I was still trying to figure out aluminum, so I wasn't too comfortable doing aluminum on all that, so I'm actually about to redo that before the start of the season. And Twitch just jumping around everywhere. And then now we'll cut to the original video. Let's see, big power steering reservoir with good breathing. I've always had issues where it would spew out of the reservoir. This new reservoir is done really well. Got the Chase Bays master delete, which works out okay. I want to try the new one and see how it does. Big Nishimoto intercooler, oil cooler, and I've got a power steering cooler with a fan on it. On that, motor stock, rips pretty good. Let's see the bottom. One more thing before I get this thing on the lift to show you all the bottom. I am going to be tubing the front end this year before Coda. Obviously headlight mounts, this needs to be fixed. So I'm going to be cutting the front end off. I'm going to tube it, I'm going to cut the tubs off and make this more of a replaceable deal. I kind of ran into something at one event, which was my fault. I clutch kicked at full throttle in second gear, kind of spun out and went straight for a tree line and hit some barriers. Kind of embarrassing, but I'm still learning, so it is what it is. But anyways, so the front radiator, old radiator area kind of got bent in, so I'm gonna cut these off and tube everything, mount the headlights nicely, and just make it where in case this happens again, I can just cut some tubes and bend them up and replace it. I guess I forgot to mention it's got Origin 75mm overs, KVD body kit. This is a new kooky front bumper. 2F rear quarters. The rear bumper got a little beat up, so we're gonna get that KVD warranty. I'll pull out some dents in this door too from a little bit of door banging and all right, bottom side. Now let's see, it's got Koenig wheels all the way around. We're also running them Accelera 651s. Let's see, got some Pro S lighting. I gotta paint this off season before Coda. Speaking of Coda, Lone Star Drift puts out a Coda drift demo, and every year we do ride-alongs, so be sure to come out and get a ride-along. We usually have a pretty good line, but we're coming up with a new system that should help people enjoy it more without having to sit in line. And we're gonna try and find an app that you can get notified, so you can kind of walk around, and about 30 minutes or so before your ride, you'll get a notification and come back. So be sure to come by and get a ride. This thing's fun. So jacking point kind of slash toe point, really, or strap point for me. Pro S, it's got a 350Z rear end, the 3.5 I believe, the manual diff, 350Z axles. Like I said, GK Tech. I've got 2 fuel filters here. It's dash 8 all the way to motor, dash 6 back. I've got feed and return hard lines from the radiator and then the motor, so obviously return feed. CD09 trans, this thing has done really well. I do have a small leak that I tried putting a new pinion seal in, didn't really do anything, it just kept leaking, so I gotta address that too. Exhaust, my exhaust gets beat up over the season, so I really don't spend a lot of time and money into working onto this exhaust. I just keep making it fit. Sorry, I getting a lot of visitors tonight to the garage. Touch base on the CD Wisefab. Best thing I have done to this car yet. This thing, Wisefab, is amazing. It'll crab walk and not spin. It's fun. I would definitely say invest your money into Wisefab. It's got a front sway bar hooked up. I have the rear sway bar, but it's not hooked up. I've been trying to add as much grip as I could into this car. It's a lot of power to keep on the ground. So I've been messing with all kinds of grip I've been tweaking all kinds of things to add some grip to it. I've got some plans this year to do some other things. Let's see, this is a rebuilt rack by Josh McGuire. Has been tremendous. He does a really good job. Probably about time to send it back just for a refresh. Got the rack relocated, so I don't use offset spacers, just the rack offset spacers. I just use rack spacers. So I heard those break a lot. Everything, if you notice, has a lot of heat shielding. This car puts out a lot of heat in the engine bay. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it down here. Like I said, BC coils. They're actually the ER series. We've got the reservoir, or the rebound, external rebound thing. Still trying to figure out suspension. Solid mounted motor, Mishimoto oil cooler block. Clutch is just a 6-puck clutch for now, a single 6-puck clutch for now. until I can afford to do a dual disc. But yeah, I've also got this because Full Lock series requires Pro Spec rules. So by Pro Spec rules, they basically follow the rule book because we're competing for a Pro Spec license, right? So they require the hoop, full suit, fire suppression, I think is a thing. Yeah. Hans. All right, we're back here at the bench. Future plans for the S14 is we're probably not going to do a whole lot more to it. Just keep it reliable. That car does Fuel Fest, Coda, drift demos, drift days. It's gone through Drift Week 6 and proven to be really reliable. Ow. That was weird. And Coda, it's 2 8-hour days nonstop. I mean, I hardly get out of that car. Fuel Fest was 8 hours. I did not get out of the car, but for more than 30 minutes because my wife made me eat. The future plans, the big plans, is to eventually put an LS 427, probably pro-charged, into this car. Full wise fab, full pro spec car, following the rules of pro spec, but not going to be pro spec. I don't think I'll ever do FD, just because it costs a lot of money to do, and from what I heard, it's not near as fun as it seems. You know, the driving's great and the competitiveness of it looks like fun, but I'd rather compete in Riverside Drift, clutch kickers, you know, events like that. It'd be more fun, but to me it seems like it could be just as competitive as FD and not cost near as much. So LS 427, dog box, quick change, the whole 9. This thing's gonna be the next level for me of this car because I know things now that I should have done better on this car that I'm going to do on this car. And so just getting ready and starting a new chassis. It's going to take me a couple years to do because I mean I'm self-funded. My wife is my only funding. She helps me. She supports the dream. And so yeah, hope y'all stick around, and I will start posting more videos of tearing down that car and building it, so y'all can kind of see what I'm doing. I built the S14 basically watching a bunch of YouTube videos, so it's definitely possible. You just have to have the patience to learn, and fabrication's a big thing. You just got to take your time and ask a lot of questions and research, and you can do it. It's very possible. I'm not quite sure if, I mean, unless you're a fast learner, and not saying that I am, but I wouldn't suggest going full crazy build like this. The S14 was not meant to be what it is this quickly in my driving career, I guess you would call it. It just all kind of snowballed. It's fun though. Anyways, if you would like to see more of Twitch and the things we do, I'm gonna start posting more videos during events, build videos, and really start to dive deep into this whole YouTube thing. Thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button, and hopefully y'all would stick around and see what we got coming. Or, I mean, if anything, and you don't like what I got going, here's Twitch.